Hello everybody and welcome back to Typical City. Manchester City have been given a deadline, an ultimatum, a date in which they must produce a suitable offer for Josko Gvardiol. And in other news, Manchester United are potentially going to hijack a potential deal that, we say hijack, I'm not too sure about this one. But before we do get started on the potential hijacking deal and the Josko Gvardiol ultimatum deadline day, David Silva, that's the place I want to start. What a player who retires now. Such a sad day for football. He's gone away with a severe knee injury that's put an end to his unbelievable career, the majority of which was spent at Manchester City. So many trophies, incredible talent. My favourite City player of all time. I think one of the greatest midfielders to ever grace the Premier League. Totally underrated. People talk about him very, very highly, but you talk about the great midfielders, he doesn't come up in the conversation enough. He doesn't come up enough for me. He is one of the all-time Premier League greats. The way he glides across that pitch. I'll always remember the way the club and Pep let him go and the treatment of David Silva, and I say that positively. The treatment was so good, and just allowing him to go and be with his son, because at the time his son was prematurely born, months early, which is incredibly dangerous, and he was in a very, very unstable, almost critical condition. And to be allowed to go and be with his son, of course, that was great. Then Pep's team talk before the game, while David Silva's away, do it for David Silva. We saw that in the documentary, do it for David Silva. De Bruyne scores, he holds up to the camera, 2-1, indicating David Silva's number 21. And seeing that was just unity, and how much he meant to the players and to Pep. And him and as an individual, a very quiet man. He very rarely spoke to the media. He very rarely spoke. He didn't seem to need to be very vocal. A lot of people think that the louder you are on the pitch, the more of a strong position you are in midfield. A lot of players rely on their voice to be that leadership, but he just led by example as a sheer example of quality with his feet. His feet did the talking. Just give him the ball anywhere, even if he's got a defender putting him in a headlock, give it him. He doesn't care. He'll control it. He'll squirm his way out of that headlock, run through the guy's legs and go and assist somebody, because he was absolutely world class, a sublime player, incredibly underrated. I'll always remember his first goal as well. What an introduction to the Premier League, what an introduction to Manchester City, and going away to Blackpool, and watching that was just absolute class. Like, wow, what a player. I think it was James Milner involved in the short corner, gives it to David Silva, corner of the edge of the area. He looks like he's about to whip it into the far left-hand corner. He chops it, and then another player, I think it was Charlie Adams, comes flying out to David Silva. Yeah, I'm going to do it again. No, I'm not. Chopped it inside again. Third time, yeah, I'm just going to pop it into that corner. The keeper just watches the ball just go into the corner, and David Silva just takes his top off, runs behind the goal to the City fans, just swinging his top round. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Blackpool was a great club as well. It was a fun club, wasn't it, Blackpool? I miss Blackpool. A lot of fun things about it. They were orange for a start, which is rare. Very, very rare. That's a fun colour. There's a theme park round the corner. You just go and watch Blackpool, smash them to bits. Very fun, very forgiving. Ian Holloway, an absolute barn part of a manager at the time. A complete loony. Extremely fun to watch. Orange, theme park round the corner. Get loads of goals against Blackpool. I missed them. They were a fun club. I miss Blackpool. I really do. There are lots of fun things going on there. But Gvardiol, let's start with that as well. Let's talk about this. The deadline is supposed to be the 12th of August. Now, that's to do with RB Leipzig's involvement in the Super Cup and how they're playing against Bayern Munich. I don't know if that's the case, and if what have we got left? We've got 2 weeks now, or just 2 weeks and a day almost, to get that deal over the line. So that's enough time. That's enough time to get the deal done. I like to think it's going to be done within the week. I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan Ake is the next news we hear. That seems to be the one that's most loudly spoken about at the minute, the Nathan Ake contract, an extension to his. So it might not be the most exciting news. It's good news, very good news, but compared to Gvardiol, I do think that deal's probably a week or so away. Hopefully we can get it done before the deadline, but that's what they're saying. That's the deadline, is the 12th of August. City need to produce a suitable offer, and I think we're almost there. The rumours, according to the German publication Bild, is that a €90 million bid was submitted, and it's the add-ons that are the problem. The add-ons, the bonuses, those stipulations that are sticked on the end. For a lot of contract deals now, and a lot of transfers usually have these little tweaks that sweeten the deal for the seller. So, for example, it might be Champions League final. Would you win the Champions League final and City have to pay 5 million more? Do we need to win Premier Leagues to provide? Or is it performances? Is it number of appearances? 50 appearances in a City shirt and we have to pay another 5 million? I'm making these up. These are just purely guesses on my part, but that's what we're talking about. And if that is the case, that's great news. That means the bulk of the deal has been established and we're now ironing out the finer details of the deal, in which you start to look back, and Fabrizio Romano heard that core part of the deal must have been done, hence why he reported it. And he must have got the impression that the clubs are just ironing out those finer details, in which case, I still believe this is happening. I still believe it's happening. I think we've gotten past that hurdle of the lump sum. Because if we can't get past that hurdle, that would be a major, major problem. People are trying to make the Liverpudlians are making the problem louder than it actually is, taking Szoboszlai, their signing of Szoboszlai, who came from RB Leipzig, and the money that they've received for him is the issue, and how they don't need the money now because Liverpool swooped in, signed Szoboszlai, and with that money, they've got a nice cushion now, RB Leipzig. They can sit back, relax, knowing they've got a nice cushion made of cash that they can sit on and go, we don't need to sell Gvardiol anymore. It would be nice, I wouldn't mind the payday, but we don't need it. We could keep our player. We could. I think Liverpool are presented. It's just an example of another club talking about it again. I mean, how many? I know that the MEN, for example, has got plenty of City fans writing for their in their columns for their paper, and as do Liverpudlians and Liverpool fans write in Liverpool publications and things like that. But you rarely hear the MEN journalists talk about Liverpool or Arsenal, like very, very briefly. This is a whole article about how Liverpool signing Szoboszlai has harmed City, and that's how they think. They are thinking about us. We just get on with it, don't we? We talk about ourselves. We set our goals, we focus on our goals, and we don't worry about anybody else. They're just side projects, nothing to worry about. They're just noise, background noise, nothing to genuinely get worried about, because if you focus on yourself, you are the benchmark, Manchester City. You are the standards that have been set, and they have to look at those standards and try to attain them. And they are struggling, and that's why they talk about us. So we are already living rent-free in all of these big red clubs' heads before the season's even started. We've heard Gabriel Jesus talk about us earlier, a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, in fact, saying that we're ready now. Last season, City this, City that, how confident they are, they know how to win. But this time our nerves won't play a part, and he's already setting the precedent that they're thinking about us, and the emotion is already high. We've not even started the Premier League yet, and they're talking about us. Trent Alexander-Arnold already said you need to be perfect to match City. You need to focus on City, and if you can't be as perfect as City, then you've got no chance. Talking City this, City that. No one cares about City, but you keep hearing the word City coming out of everyone else's mouths. But no one cares about little old City, do they? But yeah, no, it's brilliant. So I think when do you hear City players say the word Liverpool or Arsenal or Manchester United? When do you hear that? And when's the last time you heard a player say that about another club? It's rare. We don't talk about it. Unless we're playing against them, then maybe it's a logical reason to bring them up. But we don't talk about them on a whim before the season's even started. We know what we don't got to do. We know we're the benchmark. So yeah, I'm concerned. The one thing I will say about Gvardiol, and it's an indication of the player that we're going to sign, is his professionalism, because he's gone away to RB Leipzig and trained perfectly. You know what I mean? He's committed to the cause for RB Leipzig. He's training with them, and there's plenty of social media posts of him in an RB Leipzig training top, just smiling and getting on with life and just getting the pre-season under his belt and training. That's what you want. You don't want a situation where he's kicking up a fuss, not turning up to training, and as much as that might force the move through and benefit City, there could be a day where we try to sell him or we have to sell him, and he starts doing that to us. And then that's the attitude that you've bought, because that's the level of professionalism that you've bought. And that comes with it. That'll be baggage that we'll have to deal with. And luckily, City have vetted their player, looked at them once again. Bernardo Silva is the exact example of the top level professionalism. And yeah, I'm happy that he's doing what he's doing. Some people might say, make your move, force the move. Harry Kane, he didn't really do it. When we were in for him, he was professional as well. He just got on with it. He handed in a transfer request, but he turned up to training. He respected the club, because you know that if they're going to disrespect the club then, at that club, what's to say they won't do it when they're at our club? So, good. I'm glad to see that he is being professional. But in that last bit of news as well, Manchester United hijacking the Benjamin Pavard deal. Now, hijacking, are we even in for him anymore? This comes from the Express and Florian Plettenberg. Florian Plettenberg, who's the one who spent 48 hours, Sky Germany, mind you, Sky Sports Germany, who spent 48 hours like a broken record, on repeat, like a parrot, kept saying it. Walker's not starting against Bayern Munich. Walker will not be starting against Bayern Munich to force through the move. That's the reports here in Germany. He's not starting, he's not starting. Team news, Kyle Walker, captain, number 2, on the team sheet. Shut up. What are you on about? What waffle they've been coming out with, and now he's saying United are hijacking the Pavard deal. What? If we're keeping Walker, why are we even in for Benjamin Pavard? I think Benjamin Pavard would be a good alternative to Kyle Walker because I think he'd suit our system. But the fact that Pep played Kyle Walker in the 3 as a centre-back, I knew he could. We've seen him do it for England. Kyle Walker can play in that position. The only issue with Kyle Walker is you can only play him in those 2 positions. You can't play him inverted, like tucking him ahead, like maybe Cancelo could, John Stones' position, and pushing him ahead of the 3 in the defensive midfield role. Pep said it himself last season that Kyle Walker cannot do that. And maybe that's sparked a little fire in Kyle Walker to be a little bit frustrated, him not playing in the Champions League final. But the last 2 pre-season games, another example of professionalism. He looks committed to me. He did brilliantly against Alphonso Davies a couple of times when he tried to overlap him down the left-hand side. Fantastic professionalism from Kyle Walker. So the fact that he's been given the captain's armband, my gut feeling is he's staying. That's my gut feeling. If they're trying to angle a move, the same people that said he wasn't starting, saying he still wants to get his move. So yeah, they've already devalued their credibility and their statements that these journalists are making. The credibility is dying with every word that they say at the minute because it keeps getting proven not to be true. So you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. The only person for me at the minute who's worth trusting is Fabrizio Romano because of his track record. And he says Gvardiol's staying. And he said nothing about Kyle Walker leaving, not a word. They've said Bayern's interested, doesn't mean he's going. Pep's got to have a conversation with him. It sounds like he already has. Seems like he already has because he played him captain's armband twice now. So my gut feeling is he stays. Hence, Benjamin Pavard, we're not in for him. Why go for him? We do not need him. We're going to get Gvardiol, so we'll end up with 6 billion defenders if we're not careful. So, you know what I mean? We don't need Benjamin Pavard if we keep Kyle Walker. Hence why United are not hijacking the deal. If they do sign Pavard, they've signed a good player. I'll give them that. But don't call it hijack. Trying to stir the pot like United getting one over on us. No, they've not. No, they've not. United don't get one over us at all. When's the last time United got one over on us? It doesn't happen anymore. Those days are gone. Gone, my friends. But, Blues, let me know your thoughts. Gvardiol situation, what are your predictions on that? The Benjamin Pavard, would you prefer him over Walker? That's an interesting topic. Do you think he's a better player than Walker? And would you rather have Pavard than Walker? David Silva, I want to hear your thoughts on David Silva. How good was David Silva? Let me know in the comments, Blues. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now, holding up Silva.